Popcorn and Candy.
Welcome back, movie fans. This time for a quick review on the movie Mortal Kombat. This movie was just released last week, and I thought I'd share my thoughts on it and see if I can convince you to watch it or maybe not watch it. Getting straight to the point, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I was not expecting to like it this much, and especially considering that I'm not a huge fan of the video game series, I wasn't sure what to expect. However, the trailer got me hooked, and just a few minutes into this movie, I knew that at the very least, I was going to be enjoying the action scenes that were going to be happening throughout this movie. What really made this stand out for me was that as someone who's not a big fan of Mortal Kombat, and especially not someone who's overly familiar with the lore and all the different characters, the movie made it pretty easy to follow along and just enjoy the movie for what it was, without needing to be a diehard fan who knew each and every person's special moves and catchphrases and every little bit of history that's happened over the long history that this game has. To its credit, this movie does a great job getting you invested right away. The opening where you see the fight between the future rivalry that's going to be Scorpion and SubZero is amazing. They held nothing back. There wasn't any of that nonsense of, oh, let's be a little less graphic or a little less aggressive. What we really wanted was to see the fights that this game is known for. And without any hesitation, we got right into it. And man, did this movie let you know that it was not playing games. I do have to say, one of the things that I disliked with this movie was going to be the main character. Not being a huge fan of the games, I had a hard time just remembering his name or really what made him so special. Other characters like Sonya Blade, Scorpion, even Raiden, characters that I know vaguely over the years, stood out and shone and just gave such a great impression that I almost wish that they were the main characters that we were given. Another downside for me was Goro. This is a character that, as far as I'm aware, has always been the big bad. In my head, he's like the Akuma to Street Fighter. And yet, he's taken out in the middle of this movie in such a way that just feels anticlimactic. Like, what the heck? This guy should have been the biggest and baddest and toughest guy to beat. And instead, he's taken out relatively easy. And it just felt like it did him a disservice to not only his character, but to the fans. Easily, though, the best part of this movie has to be the dynamic between Scorpion and SubZero. I love how at the very beginning of the movie, when they meet, one speaking Chinese, one speaking Japanese, and the Japanese one clearly says, I don't know what you're saying, but I'm going to take you down. It just kind of gives the movie a sense of realism, since we do know these people come from different areas, and not so much the words that are spoken, but the tone and the body language. They knew that they were going to be rivals. They knew they were enemies, especially with how the movie starts. But yet, as the movie continues, you see how Scorpion's powers have gone from just making things really cold at the beginning of the movie to pulling off some amazing moves. And then Scorpion, man, this guy just kills it. It's something that I can't wait to rewatch this movie. It's only been a week, and I'm probably going to watch it again tonight. It just did such an amazing job. And as you see this final fight between the two of them, again, it's something that if a sequel that's been promised is in the works, I look forward to the rematch between these two. In short, you should definitely watch this movie. It's not going to change your view on movies or make you a better person or convince you to change a certain way of living, but it's definitely going to entertain you. One of the big things I noted is, as a 90s kid, I grew up with terrible video game movies like the Super Mario movie, and that's a whole nother monstrosity. But this movie achieved something very important, which is it entertained you, it wasn't cheesy, and it definitely gave the right amount of fan service to the longtime fans with catchphrases and characters, and definitely some real good world building. That it's the kind of movie that if you've got a few minutes to spare, give it a shot. Because I guarantee you this much, The first thing you're going to say when your friends come over is, "Get over here!" With that in mind, I'm Brandon. This is Popcorn and Candy, and thanks for taking a few minutes to listen to my review.